Once there lived in
Miller
and his...
3 daughters.
The miller worked hard to provide for his daughters, and when he died, he left his
Mill for working flour.
to his eldest daughter,
Mill for working the field.
to his middle daughter, and his cat
Freckle.
to his youngest daughter. At first, the youngest daughter felt
Bit hard done by.
with the gift of the cat, but he soon proved his worth. To start with, it turned out he could talk
Hello.
and asked for a pair of boots,
to match my
cruelty-free.
fur coat.
Once bedecked with his fine boots, Freckles, the Puss in Boots, immediately set out to improve the life of his master. He captured a big juicy rabbit in the forest and took it to the king of the land, bowing deeply as he presented it as a gift from his master, the imaginary
Marioness of Carabas.
Over time, Freckles continued to present the king with regular gifts of game,
With the compliments of the Marioness of Carabas.
until he overheard the king commenting that he...
We'll take a walk in the country with my son, the prince.
The Puss in Boots raced back to his master and insisted she quickly...
Strip off your clothes and swim in the river.
The youngest daughter did as she was asked, and Freckles hid her plain-looking clothes behind a rock, just in time for the king and his son to drive past. Freckles waved down the convoy and explained that his master had been...
Swimming and someone has taken her clothes.
The king, recognising this talking cat who had delivered all those gifts, commanded a servant to fetch fine new clothes,
For the Marioness of Carabas.
and she was seated in the car with the prince, who naturally fell in love with her immediately. Meanwhile, Freckles raced ahead to a nearby village and demanded the country folk agree that the land belonged to the Marioness of Carabas, for otherwise he would...
Turn you into mincemeat.
He soon came across a large castle in which lived the magical ogre who actually owned the land. The ogre was an ugly brute, but claimed the ability to...
Transform into any animal about
Freckles asked him to...
Prove it.
So he turned into a giraffe, to frighten Freckles. Freckles, recovering from his fear, said,
Such a large animal is surely easy. I bet you couldn't turn into anything small.
The ogre laughed and shrunk to a tiny mouse, but Freckles had tricked him and instantly pounced on the transformed ogre, gobbling him up in one bite. Upon reaching the castle, the king and his son, along with the youngest daughter, were greeted by Freckles and invited into
The home of the Marioness of Carabas.
The king, impressed by such wealth, granted his son's hand in marriage to the new Marioness of Carabas, and Freckles, his master, and the prince all lived happily ever after, enjoying the lives of great lords and only needing to chase mice
For my own amusement.
for the rest of their days.